I'm really hoping I can get this off after I'm done filming. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to After Prison Show. Teardrop Joe here. And today's video is a Q&A. In this video, we're going to talk about the weirdest place I've ever tattooed. What exactly do teardrop tattoos mean, and some pretty crazy reasons guys have asked me to tattoo teardrops on their face. The worst thing I have ever seen correctional guards do, and a few other things as well. So grab your popcorn, get ready for the entertainment, sit back, chillax, and let's go. Inferno asks, Joe, what is the weirdest place someone has ever asked you to tattoo? And also, what is the weirdest tattoo you've ever done? I've done a lot of crazy tattoos while locked up. I mean, pretty much anything that you can imagine on a guy's face, from lightning bolts coming down from his hairline to behind the ear and little skulls right there on the earlobe. Eyelids. By the way, I am not a fan of tattooing eyelids. To the inside of lips. I can't really talk like this. Not a good place to get tattooed. That tattoo was a disaster. But I think the weirdest place that anybody ever wanted me to tattoo them while in prison was on their butt cheeks. I met this guy while in prison, pretty cool guy, but he began telling me how he wanted this tattoo and he wanted me to do it. And he said that he wanted it on his butt cheeks. What the fuck did you just... I'm not tattooing your butt cheeks. He said, Joe, please, just let me tell you what it's all about. It's not gay, no homo. He said, look, I want to get your name tattooed on my ass cheeks. What the fuck did you just say? He said, Joe, you're missing the point. He said, I don't want to get Joe tattooed on my butt cheeks. I want to get your name, the words, your name tattooed on my butt cheeks. I'm missing the point of this. He said, think about this, Joe. I'm going to be in the bars and I'm going to be meeting all sorts of chicks. He said, and when I do, what a great conversation starter it will be if I could tell them, hey, I bet you a beer that I've got your name tattooed on my ass cheeks. And if they go along with it, I'll simply pull down my pants right there in the bar, probably catching an indecent exposure charge at that. And I'll turn around and I'll show them my butt cheek that's gonna say your name. I'll be damned. Sounds like a pretty clever idea. So if you're wondering if I did this tattoo or not, and he offered me quite a bit of money to do it, Next question. Tasha Cogley 99 asks, you always seem to talk about the bad things in prison. Was there any good times? Like, what was the best thing that happened to you in prison? To be fair, there really aren't too many good things that do happen while in prison. Prison is pretty much the most negative place that you can be on the face of the planet, other than a war zone or in the grave. But if I was to have to mention good things that did happen while I was locked up, I did get my GED while I was locked up. Had I not been locked up, I probably never would have even received that. So that was a very good thing that happened. I also ran across a good friend of mine who I hadn't seen since school. And I was able to spend about 1.5 years locked up with him. And I mean, that sounds bad, but it really honestly was good, considering he was released and then died. Had I not been locked up, I probably never would have got a chance to reunite with him, spend time with him before ultimately he passed away. So as bad as that is, that actually was a good thing that happened while locked up. And other than that, there really just isn't too much good stuff that happens when you're locked up. You can try to make the best of it, but even doing so, you will still deal with far more bad times than anything that you could even possibly consider good while locked up. Stinks asks, hey, After Prison Show, I love your videos, but I feel as though you might be lying, and here's why. I googled Joe P. Gururo, I'm not quite sure you spelled my name correctly there, and there is one prisoner called that. He went to prison in 2007 and sounds quite like your profile. It may be a coincidence, but I don't know. Please answer. Thanks. Well, first and foremost, if you spelled my last name anything like you spelled it in the comments right there, I'm quite sure that might be the reason why you think this is all just made up. I honestly don't know how I can prove it to you anymore that I have spent most of my adult life locked up. I have been to prison twice, like these 2 teardrops on the side of my face. I mean, I've gone as far as to show footage of me actually being released and my prison mugshot. Bong! Scary guy. I don't know what more I could possibly do to convince you. So really, all I can say is, I'm sorry that you feel that way. Vin Lu asks, hey Joe, could you make a video about the meaning of prison tattoos, like teardrops and so? Thank you in advance. All the best from Austria. Vin Lou, first of all, I just want to say special shout out to you and to Austria. Thanks for rocking with After Prison Show. And also, it was your comment in particular that inspired the new artwork here on my face. Don't worry, it's not real. But when it comes to teardrop tattoos and just what they mean, well, unfortunately, they don't mean anything good. And what they do tend to mean is that you have, in fact, killed somebody. Now, while I was locked up, I tattooed countless teardrop tattoos, just like these fake ones I've got here on my face. But what's crazy about this is when a guy would come up to me and say, "Hey Joe, I want you to tattoo some teardrops right here underneath my eye," I would have to ask, why? Why do you want those teardrops? Did you kill somebody? And in a lot of cases, they would say they hadn't killed anybody and would justify exactly why they wanted these teardrops with some pretty crazy answers. No, I didn't kill anybody. You see, my pet goldfish died and I want to be able to remember that goldfish. He meant a lot to me. I cried a lot behind that goldfish, so therefore I want some teardrop tattoos. And I would say to people who would concoct these crazy stories about why they want these teardrop tattoos, I would have to warn them and say, don't you realize that teardrop tattoos are a very big gang symbolization tattoo? I mean, most people who have teardrop tattoos are gang members who have actually bodied someone. I had a guy come up to me one time and tell me he wanted 4 teardrop tattoos. And I thought to myself, goodness gracious, did you kill an entire family? But there is this crazy prison saying that goes, if the price is right, the flight's tonight. But that saying does have meaning here, and basically, if you had the money, we could tattoo whatever, except for your penis. But the fact of the matter is that under no circumstances whatsoever should you be getting teardrop tattoos. I saw a guy while locked up one time get this gigantic teardrop tattoo. It looked like there was about 10 teardrops inside of this one, that's how big this tattoo was. I just thought to myself, did you go on a massacre? Your entire face has this gigantic black teardrop spot. You're never gonna be able to do anything with that. That's horrible. Now, there are other tattoos just as much as these teardrops that do mean that you have killed somebody. In fact, you'll see guys in prison who have spider webs on their elbows with spiders hanging from them, spider webs on their chest with spiders inside of those webs. And those tattoos mean the exact same thing as teardrop tattoos, meaning that you have, in fact, killed somebody. Zero DFG asks, after prison show, hey, please read. Did you have any permanent, temporary, traumatic effects from prison, such as anxiety, fear of yelling, screaming, hearing things that aren't there, etc.? I feel like I definitely suffered from some sort of post-traumatic stress disorder from being locked up and for so long, and for also having to deal with so much bullshit that I did while serving all of that time. From just the absolute chaos that takes place 24/7 between getting in fights, seeing other people get in fights, getting your ass kicked, seeing other people getting their ass kicked, dealing with corrupt and just horrible prison guards who 24/7 do not stop the bullshit that they put you through. Prison, no matter how you stir it, is sort of like being in a fucking war zone. And coming home from that, it's been over a year now since I've been released, but I still suffer from anxiety that I know came from all of that time that I spent locked up dealing with all that I did. I mean, there's times when I almost can't even walk out of the apartment because the anxiety is just so strong. The only way that I can combat against that is to just basically suck it up and say, Joe, fuck all that shit. We are free now. Nothing should stand in our way from what we need to do. It's a tough thing to deal with. But me, myself, personally, I try to always remember that nothing is inconquerable. I mean, really, it's a mind over matter type of philosophy that I try to carry with me every single day. But to answer your question, yes, absolutely. Not so much hearing things that aren't there, but definitely having lucid, crazy dreams that still haunt me, kind of. It's like, flashbacks of being locked up, dealing with shakedowns, dealing with times when I really got my ass kicked bad. From time to time, I still deal with the after effects of that type of stuff. I think that's something that will always be with me, honestly. Marquise Watson asked, what was the most fucked up thing you ever saw a guard do? I could write a book on this subject alone. I've seen guards do so much fucked up stuff. But one thing in particular that a guard did that I feel is just absolutely totally fucked up is that there was this time when a guy was getting visits from his girlfriend, and after the visits were over, this guard was literally striking up a conversation with this guy's girlfriend, which ultimately led to this guy's girlfriend leaving him, and then rumor had it that she actually began a relationship with this prison guard. I don't think it could be any more fucked up than that when you are so low that you are hunting for women in a prison visitation room and you actually break up the relationship between a prisoner and his girlfriend for your own personal gain. I think that was pretty fucked up. The prisoner who went through this, I mean, he went through a fucked up time after this. This guy wanted to kill himself. This guy was really fucked up behind that. Everyone at this prison knew about this situation. Just to have to walk around with everybody looking at you like, that's the guy right there where that guard took his girlfriend. I think that's pretty fucked up. And if you're wondering what happened to the guard in this situation, absolutely nothing. This guy was still able to keep his job, and for him, nothing ever came of this. Pretty fucked up, I think. Hey, look, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did so, please leave a like and a comment. Let me know exactly what you think about these teardrop tattoos. And until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted and make the most of every day. Peace!